The Nightlife Society presents.
Yeah, man, it's about that time, man. As you see the people on the screen, go ahead and grab your get right, your drink, your smoke. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you put some love in your body. Shout out to Freeze. As we get into the story tonight about me getting knocked the first time in Pomona, California, right? But before we get into tonight's story, let me make a few announcements real quick. First of all, this is brought to you by this gang, and also by the cologne you cannot spray on, called Ism, manufactured and distributed by Gentlemen of Leisure. Also, let me make this announcement real quick. Me and the homie Proper Respect trying to put together a music battle between us. LA versus Memphis. Pimp music, you dig? Um, I had got that freeze on about putting it on his channel, but he was like, you know, how, you know, the YTPD be tripping and shit like that. So I was like, fuck it, man, we'll put it on my channel. You know, my channel kind of small. And plus, I'm not monetized. You know what I'm saying? And like I was telling my partner, it's like, man, I probably will never be monetized no matter how many subscribers I get, because just off the fact that, hey, man, what the fuck I look like being the instructor getting instructions by the YTPD on telling me what I can do and what I can't do and what videos to put up. And, you know, that's just the easy way, you know, then when you monetize, you know, and other content creators and, you know, a little back and forth go. And, you know, they be trying to strike channels and all that shit. So I don't have to worry about that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, no disrespect and nothing like that to the content creators and everybody on YouTube getting their paper. But I don't need that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like I say, man, I'm not going to subject myself to being up under damn near like a probation. You know what I'm saying? You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't say this, you can't say that. Hey man, I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say, when I want to say it, how I want to say it. You know what I'm saying? So now that we got that out the way, let's get into this evening's proceedings. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and get back, kick back, man, relax. I'm gonna try not to keep y'all too long. You dig what I'm saying? But I want to say, and then also notice in the thumbnail I put, knock the serve the right way. Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of, you know, in today's time, a lot of niggas is, you know, is knocking bitches off of certain certain social media platforms and even outside on the blade or on the carpet or whatever the case gonna be. But man, in today's time, man, you can ask quite a few people, man. Go ahead and do the survey yourself and ask them, what does it mean for a pimp to get served? See, we'll always hear about the knocking, but they don't mention too much about the serving. You know what I'm saying? Now, the serving, when we say the serving, we mean the serving of the papers. And what that mean by that is, hold on one second. And what we mean by that is that serving the papers means that, let me just briefly we are real quick before I get into it. So let's just say if I'm down and you know, I'm sliding around, you know what I'm saying, I got the game down with that woo woo, and you know, Sauce Gotti or somebody or Proper Respect, you know what I'm saying, knock the bra from me, you know what I'm saying? Like they probably been popping at her for a few days or whatever. But anyway, he get the bitch, you know what I'm saying, and break her for everything that she got. What first of all, it used to be a 24-hour time span. You know what I'm saying? So if I get the bitch 2 o'clock on the afternoon, then 2 o'clock the next day, I need to call Pimpin' to let him know, like, hey man, you know, I got the bitch. Woo woo. You know what I'm saying? She not in jail, she not hurt, she not dead, whatever, woo woo. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I broke her for. The reason for that is because when Proper or Sauce knocked her from me, he knocked her on my watch. You dig what I'm saying? And then it's just pimp etiquette. You know what I'm saying? It's just pimping, looking out for pimping, right? So all right, so okay, my bad, y'all. So So that's what the serving of the papers is for. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, niggas, bitches just jumping in the cars with pimping because, he probably been popping at the bitch, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram or whatever the case gonna be, you know what I'm saying? So find out she down on Western or Fig or something like that, Sepulveda, you know what I'm saying? This and that, you know what I'm saying? Scary Harry or something, you dig what I'm saying? Aurora, you know what I'm saying? Shit, even Vegas Boulevard, you know what I'm saying? El Cajon Boulevard, you get the point, you know what I'm saying? And shit, he pulled up on the bitch, woo woo, pop his free say, bitch, woo woo, and then she jump in the car with him, you know what I'm saying? Pimping that, set the bitch down, man. I mean, he has no idea of where she at. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, man, just pimp etiquette for pimping, to look out for pimping. So when you knock the bitch, especially, if you knock her outside, whatever the case is gonna be, or I mean, I'm pretty sure the rules still apply as far as like as the carpet goes. Now the internet, I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the partners, I know, you know what I'm saying, who to knock bitches off the internet, they went about it the right way, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa, right? So that's what part of the serving papers the right way is for. Okay, right. So now that we got that out the way, you dig? Let's get into it, right? So I know I got to give y'all the story around the story, right? So peep game, right? So let's take it back to like let me see, it had to be like either the end of 07 or the beginning of 08. And the reason why I say that is because on the last story, and I told y'all when I knocked the broad on the Metrolink, I told in that story on how I lost the Cadillac on Sepulveda. You know what I'm saying? So this was before I got the Cadillac. This was the car that I had before I had the lack. You know what I'm saying? It was like a 96 Regal or something like that. It was cool, you know what I'm saying? Sitting on some dubs, had the little TVs and shit. It was doing that time. So anyway, right? So bam. I'm young, fresh in the game, man. You know what I'm saying? And people gonna know what I'm gonna talk about. Like, when you going through after you make that first stage of transitioning and you in the game, you know what I'm saying? You got your name, you popping it, whatever, woo, and you more seasoned amongst your peers that you grew up with. So you feel like you all game. You dig what I'm saying? You know it all. You know what I'm saying? Because you still going through that transitional period where you still in touch with old girlfriends or old homegirls or bitches that you knew that you dealt with before you got into the game, whether they fuck with your cousin, whatever, woo, same way as with your partners, right? So you think young Pimpin think he all game, you know what I'm saying? Until he learned that no, it's some more of it. You dig? So it's doing that time for me. So I had a few little bras. Now, mind y'all, I had lost bras before this, but I never got knocked and served the right way. I'm gonna put some emphasis on that. Served the right way, right? So check it out. So like I say, it's the end of 07, beginning of 08. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, it was before I got the Cadillac, but I remember the time of the year where it might have been the end of 07 because it was still warm enough outside to be outside with a jacket. But if you was in certain areas around LA County or neighboring counties, you probably want to have a jacket on that night, or at least like a little windbreaker or whatever the case gonna be. Like you don't need no big old coat, but so it was kind of breezy at nighttime. So it was during that time, right? And like I said, it's before I got the Cadillac, and I got the Cadillac like maybe like probably like around this time, May, something like that, April, May, somewhere like that in 08, right? So bam. So at the time, I'm building my crown, I'm building my name, building my crown on Sepulveda. They're not calling me Sepulveda yet, right? So like I say, born in Compton, raised in LA County, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Affiliation of Outer Watts. But my ism and my game come from Sepulveda, right? So I'm out there in Sepulveda day in, night out, right? Bam. So I'm going through the trials and tribulations, ups and downs, right? So bam. I get on the UC radar somewhat, right? And like I said before, man, on Sepulveda, it's some undercovers you got to watch out for. And anybody who hear this, you know what I'm saying, that's been in it long enough and went strong enough, y'all will remember the Malibus they used to have on Sepulveda. You know what I'm saying? The undercover Malibus, yeah, the gray one, the burgundy one, the tan one, the black one. Chubby white dude with the ginger white dude with the red hair. I mean, you see big old white dude like kind of chubby, and had the little marine flat top haircut. You know what I'm saying? Natural like a strawberry red, so like a ginger, like a redhead. You know what I'm saying? And man, you wouldn't even think this fool can run as fast as he as he could, right? So anyway, so during that time, right? So bam, they kind of own me a little bit, but they not, right? So I say that to say that they kind of like had pushed up on me one day, you know what I'm saying, and was kind of like talking shit, sweating me, whatever, you know what I'm saying, let me know they own me, blah 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 blah. So basically, long story short, is that I pretty much got pushed away from Sepulveda for a minute. So now I need somewhere else to go, right? So now, mind you, I'm living in LA. Matter of fact, I'm living in Compton on the Alondra and Willowbrook, right there by the train tracks. You know what I'm saying? Right there by the Occasions, in between the Occasions and the Spooks, right? Across the street from Bunny's Liquors. If you know, you know, right? So right, so bam, so now at the time I was used to go out there towards like saying, cause Pomona, even though it is technically LA County, but it's the last county east. I mean, it's the last city east in LA County. As soon as you cross over, you in like Montclair, Ontario, shit like that. Bam, you in San Bernardino County, right? So at the time though, I'm having action at quite a few bitches that's in them areas, right? So and Fig was Fig, but I didn't really fuck with Fig like that. Nigga, I'm 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes away from Long Beach Boulevard. I didn't fuck with Long Beach Boulevard until I met my partner KD. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds crazy, but like I say, before I moved to Compton, you know what I'm saying? My game started on Sepulveda, right? So bam. So I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta go somewhere to go woo, right? So I had a little game, you know what I'm saying? I had like I ain't gonna say a 3 or 4, let's say a 152. I had a 152. And so the 152 had got on, right? So bam, now I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go, because I used to be on Sepulveda, like I say, man, day and night. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck, man, where I'm gonna go, right? Now, I had been to Pomona already, and so I knew my way around Pomona, you know what I'm saying? Came across some of the original Hollywood divisions that's from Pomona, you know what I'm saying? Young, one of some people who laced me a little bit. Also, I can't forget Pimpin' Prince. You know what I'm saying? I know that's crazy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He definitely laced me with some game. And it was just kind of ironic that we both named Prince. But that's why P kind of like took to me though like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he seen me like literally Genesis 1:1. Matter of fact, it wasn't even Genesis 1:1 yet. He was still reading the table of context. You know what I'm saying? So Pretty Reese, a couple more out there, right? So I knew my way around Sepulveda a little bit, but like I say, I'm still, up and coming. You know what I'm saying? I done got my first level of game, so I'm working on my second level dose of the game, right? So, bam, I'm in Pomona, right? So, I had some people who stayed out there, and it's a city next to Pomona called, damn, what the fuck is the name of that city, man? Start with a U, I think. Upland. The name of the city called Upland, right? So, bam. So, bam, they right next door, right? So, I'm floating around with that woo, right? Bam. So, this particular day, now let me say this too also, right? Pomona was a daytime blade at the time. Man, that motherfucker used to jump like mid of the daytime, you know what I'm saying? Like, and shit like that, like in the afternoon. But it was a little twist to it because like around between 2 and 4, it would get kind of slow a little bit because there was a couple of schools that's around there and they would be letting out around that time. So sometimes, Johnny would trip, right? We're gonna get back to that. That's a point, right? So bam. So at this particular time, I'm on the jumping, right? So I'm floating around now. So I'm trying to knock this one little broad from San Bernardino, right? So she playing whatever whoop, you know what I'm saying? So I forgot. Matter of fact, oh yeah, this shit. I'm gonna get back to that, right? So bam. So I'm floating around whatever whoop, Pomona up and down Hope Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? And I had a room at the Ontario end. Man, let me just say this, man, for a minute, man. Nigga, I damn near thought I lived at the Ontario end. You know what I'm saying? It's way down on Hope Boulevard. Hope is along Blade. And it's down towards Ontario right there. So you got Ontario, Montclair, Pomona. You know what I'm saying? So I'm way down there by, it's two San Antonios. They could be San Antonio Central, but it's closer towards Euclid, right? So I'm down at the Ontario end, and I liked the Ontario ends because the prices was cool. There was decent rooms. The complex was big. Used to be a couple little stragglers running around there, a couple little young hoes running around. Not young hoes like that, but out of bounds hoes. Some had folks, some didn't. Some pimping around. But it wasn't outrageous. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just niggas and bitches just hanging out in parking lots and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It was real cool, right? So I got a room at the Ontario Inn, right? So this particular day, bam, right? Probably middle of the week, ain't no telling, but it's broad daylight, right? So bam. I'm holeless. I'm not doleless. Shout out to my nigga Simple the P, rest in peace. But I was holeless, right? So I jump in the whip, I'm sliding down Hope, whatever, right? And man, when I'm finna say, y'all, this is real talk, real shit, for real, for real. I don't do all, on the dead homies and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But just, you know what I'm saying, on my pimping, what you know what I'm saying? Just please believe me, right? So check it. Snow Bunny, walking down the street. Look, man, I know we say 2 feet to concrete, but damn, man, this bitch literally was 2 feet to concrete. No shoes, no sandals, no socks, right? So, little white bra, you know what I'm saying, fresh in the game, not no hell of a marketable type of bra, you know what I'm saying, kind of short, a little on a baby, you had one Big Mac too many size, you know what I'm saying? But just a little chunky a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But, it was workable. And shit, baby, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even front, man. A little white bitch ass had a little rump back there, you know what I'm saying? To go with that. And it was natural because, BBLs wasn't back then what they are now, right? So sandy blonde hair, you know what I'm saying? Hazel greenish eyes, green, you know what I'm saying? I'm still green compared to now, but she was way more green than me, right? So bam. So I'm trying to pop at the bitch, right? So it's right there on Holt and Indian Hill, it's a swap meet and a mobile gas station. All right, so right there is the last city limit of Pomona. It's like a little bitty, tiny little crosswalk bridge, but for the street to still go straight through. And you cross over to a little city called Montclair, right? Now, Montclair not, from the stretch on Hope, Montclair's not really that big. And it was kind of dangerous for the hoes to be passing through Montclair, going to Ontario, or coming from Ontario to Pomona, or pimping just set the bitch down on the Montclair side because, catch 22. Man, if a bitch catch a date in the Montclair, in that little section right there, like, man, for sure, she finna hit for something cool if she got the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something about that little area that, man, they just, too much bullshit, no funny style. They pan right, bam, right. But it was real dangerous because, I don't know if they're Montclair sheriffs or Montclair police, but your cousins used to be, know what I'm saying, like tripping up in there, right? So now, rarely they was taking girls to jail, but they would give them a ticket and make them walk towards the Pomona side, right? Like some of them, like ones that's hip to the game, they'll tell tell the bitch, you know what I'm saying, like, bitch, take that shit to the other side of Indian Hill, you know what I'm saying? So bam, so the bitch coming from Montclair going towards Pomona, right? So she right there, and I don't know if it's still there, but it used to be like it's like a parking lot. I don't know if it was an O'Reilly. I don't even think O'Reilly's was out there. They could have been an AutoZone or maybe a Kragen or something, but it was like a little something like that, like a little auto place, something like that, in the little parking lot up in there, right? So bam. So I pull up, I'm trying to holler at her, woo, woo, woo. She stay in pocket, stay in pocket, don't say nothing to me, right? So bam. I'm like, all right, so I slide off. Now, he goes back to what I was saying about the split between Pomona and Montclair, right? So now I'm going into Pomona, but right when you cross Indian Hill on it's a it used to be a El Super grocery store. I think it's still there. Like that whole little parking lot, all kind of other little stuff. And then you go up a little bit, and it was like a little side street right there. I think the street is called Pearl Phyllis. It's a one name street, something like that. It's something with a P. Could be Paris, but something right there, right? So bam. So the hoes used to be down like right there, right? But this particular time when I'm pulling out and I'm passing up the mobile gas station, bam, Johnny, then like they like 2-3 cars deep and they done hopped out on the hose, right? It's the middle of the daytime and it's like 3:30, right? Wrong time, right? So bam, so they got them hemmed up, right? So the bitch, she keep walking towards that direction and she get right there by the mobile gas station and she see Johnny and them, so she kind of like, I can see the stutter stepping going on a little bit, right? So I cruise up a little bit, I pass Johnny and them, bam, go down a couple of streets, bank a right, come back through the other little side down Kingsley, some shit like that. Came back up, right? Came through the parking lot on the bitch, through off of Indian Hill. Came through the parking lot, had to go through some other shit, and so now she's coming back from the direction that I seen her, going back towards Montclair. Right, so bam, I pull up, park, jump out, woo woo, bam. So I got the bitch, right? So we talking whatever, woo woo. Now, you know what I'm saying? So she tell me that she fucking with some fool, you know what I'm saying? And, so okay, bam, right? So because I don't want to say his name because he knows his name, but let me and shout out to my nigga King Goldie about a Fresno because this was like right around the time I met King Goldie, right? So fool had that I got it from. He had a cool little stable. Man, the nigga had a volleyball team. You know what I'm saying? Had like 4-5 snow bunnies. Cool. But the main one was a boyfriend-girlfriend spirit situation. And it was starting to be known. See, before when I got baby girl, she was, we talking with her, you know what I'm saying? And no, I didn't break her for no money. She didn't have no money on her. You know what I'm saying? I just told y'all, man, the bitch is barefoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, right? She had a cool little outfit on, like a cool little summer dress on, but bitch was bare feet. You know what I'm saying? So she telling me about food, whatever, right? So, and reason why I say shout out to my nigga King Goldie, because Goldie ended up knocking food for another snow bunny, one of his other snow bunnies. But let me say this, man. It ain't, of course, we knocked through. That's what it is. But it was really more about them bitches trying to get away from him because the girlfriend situation, like she wanted to be the girlfriend, the bottom hole, the head coach, the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to play first, second, third base, and shortstop. You know what I'm saying? And fool by him not being, you know what I'm saying, seasoned and laced. I don't know about now, but at the time, she pretty much ran the show, right? So bam, so I got the ball, right? So bam, we talk about right? So bam, we go back to the Ontario Inn, right? So now we at the Ontario Inn, and one thing about pimping, man, we gonna keep an extra something. Like I said before, man, I keep a fresh pair of Revlons, wigs, shoes, whatever, man. So I was homeless, like I said, but I had in one of the what we call one of the whole gear bags, like some little sandals with like some little heel on them. Now the sandals was like one size too small for, but it worked. It better, you know what I'm saying? So bam, so we chilled for a couple of hours, you know what I'm saying? She freshen up with that woo woo, you know what I'm saying? So we talking with a woo woo, you know what I'm saying? So I don't, serve the food, whatever. And I didn't even know nothing about that shit in detail like I know now, right? So she telling me about the food, whatever. Woo. So, cool thing about that is that food had an uncle, right? That was a little bit more seasoned than him, but like they say, you know what I'm saying? Birds of a feather flock together, you know what I'm saying? The uncle had a girlfriend spirit situation going on too with a couple other little bras. How do I know that? Because I knocked the nigga for the little girlfriend the same night I knocked the bunny, right? And then come to find out, the bunny and the girlfriend, they know it. Of course, they know each other because they fuck with uncle and nephew, but them two didn't know that I knew both of them. Like I said, and then I'm cracking at everything. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me say this also too, because it wasn't just Pomona at the time, man. At the time, you had University Drive jumping in Riverside. You had Baseline was cracking in San Bernardino back then before it became just, just toe down. You had Alejandro and Rialto, where, you could set the bitch down and get a little something up out of there. You dig what I'm saying? So, and then you had the TA truck stop, off the 10 freeway. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker was gigging at the time. So, it was, if you can if you know your way around the area, know what to do and when to do it, you can really be, there's a lot of P's out there that don't really fuck with LA like that because at the time, they didn't need to, right? So, bam. Now, they not in the same city, so you're going to have to hop on the freeways and get to them if you don't know the streetways. So, you don't, waste a little gas, you know what I'm saying? But that's just part of it, right? So, bam. So, I got the broad, right? So, a couple hours go by, whatever, bam. So, speed it up a little bit. I had the bitch for a couple of weeks, right? See, on that day, when we went back out later on that day, the police were still moving. They man, they had really just started tripping. Like, they had just went on one. It wasn't just that day. They was like back to back, back to back. Sometimes, it'd be like that, right? So, bam, so sit the bra back down. She don't get none of woo. So that night, before I had knocked her friend later on that day, or was it before? No. I was talking to her, but I didn't get her. My bad, Joe. I got her. I knocked her that night, but I didn't get a chance to get her until the next morning because me and the little bunny, we went out. I take her to the valley. Now, in the valley, I know, what I'm saying, of course, stuff over the zone. You know what I'm saying? That's, the main thing out there. And then, you got Lancashire. But it's also a few other little places out there that, if you can set the bitch down, you know what I'm saying, and get a little something, you know what I'm saying? So, bam, I set the bitch down on Reseda Boulevard, right? So, bam, so she, whatever, so that was the first night, right? So, I don't go to Sepulveda. I don't take her to Sepulveda. Of course, she was hearing about Sepulveda. And like I said, my name wasn't Sepulveda at the time. The game haven't, gave it to me yet. But remember what I said, I couldn't be up over there like that. So I didn't want to take her to Sepulveda, and I couldn't be up over there. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even that serious, right? So we moving around here and there in the Valley Bend. So, bam, I take her to, and at the time, well, it still is, but then Pasadena. Come on, man, I'm finna give y'all some game with this right here, man. Pasadena got a blade out there called Colorado Boulevard, right? So you can either be down by Pasadena College, or we used to be down by the 215, I think that is, down by Michelinda and Rosemead Boulevard, right? My partner K Lavish plugged me up on that. He was out of Pasadena. Hold that name, Lavish, because it's gonna mean something. And man, I'm gonna have to tell y'all how I met that nigga K Lavish on a whole nother story, man. I might do that next. You know what I'm saying? That's some whole other shit, right? So, bam. So, I'm taking her, Pomona, Pasadena, the Valley, I think downtown Lancashire, whatever. So, anyway, we ended up back in Pomona maybe like 2 weeks later, right? So, middle of the daytime, right? So, here we go, right? Bam. So, man, I set the bitch down, whatever, and she looking cool, whatever, now, as far as, I guess, the little girlfriend, when I end up getting her the next, this I know it was the little girlfriend for Fool Uncle, because when I end up not going to go get her the next morning, after me and the Snow Bunny had came back in from Pasadena, because the girl was, damn, what was that bitch at, man? She wasn't too far from Pomona. It wasn't Upland. It could have been Pomona, but just way on the other side of town. I forgot exactly where she was at. But anyway, I get her that morning. You know what I'm saying? She was, her and the bunny, they chopping it up all, they tripping like, damn, bitch, this nigga, woo, right? So, but, you could just kind of like see the girlfriends, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could, even that back then, man, like, you could just tell, like, it's some, like, like, the same shit that Bunny was telling me about the nephew, you know what I'm saying? The girlfriend got the same shit going on with the uncle, right? So, long story short, so the girlfriend ended up leaving, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was like, no, it wasn't nothing like she blew up or nothing like that. She was just like, I'm gonna go to my people's house, whatever. But of course, she ended up going back to Fool, I think. But so I only had the girlfriend for like maybe some 10, 11 hours, some shit like that. Got her that. I didn't even get a chance to set the girlfriend down. Matter of fact, bam, thank you, gang. That's why the girlfriend ended up leaving, because we was kind of like having somewhat of a disagreement about her getting down. She didn't get down. She was one of them taking pictures and typing bitches. You know what I'm saying? This is right could have been like right, maybe Backpage was just making its way, but for sure Craigslist, the person was going right. So bam, so the girlfriend goes, so me and the bunny, we down, woo, woo, bam, so we back in Pomona, right? Man, middle of the day, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling myself, I'm sliding, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the bunny was doing pretty cool because where I had her down there, it wasn't a whole lot of hoes down. I didn't take her to LA because at the time, well, first of all, I didn't really fuck with Fig like that, but at the time, Fig wasn't no blade. But now you go out there, you see, you know what I'm saying, bitches of all kind of races, you know what I'm saying? Black, white, brown, white, polka dot, candy stripe, you know what I'm saying? All that shit, you know what I'm saying? Checkerboard and everything. But then, it wasn't, it was very rare, right? So, we back in Pomona, right? So, that's crazy, man. Because, right, so anyway, so the bitch down right now. I think we had chirps at the time. Right, we done had a cell phone, but I think we was chirping, right? So anyway, talking about, you know what I'm saying, I ain't heard from the bitch for a couple of hours, you know what I'm saying? And the last time I heard from her, she was on a date, right? So all right, cool, right? The time I went there, what is this bitch at, right? Right, so now check this shit out. I seen the little Mija, the little Latina moving around. Same kind of like, you know, built kind of like the same, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like, you know, on the you know, baby, you know what I'm saying? You know, you had maybe one too many extra large fries, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe, you know what I'm saying, too many strawberry shakes, but you know, it was workable because she was cool looking, right? So, but you could tell she was green. Even at the time then I could see that, but I was green too, right? So I seen the Latina moving around, right? I'm like, that was the bitch, right? I see all the, but I don't see the bunny. I'm trying to hit the bunny on the chirp. It can't go through, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bust through like, say this, you know what I'm saying? It just go, right? So, man, some hours go by. And then the reality starts sinking in. Like, damn, did this bitch go to jail? Man, I'm not even thinking about her blowing up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, scratch that. I'm not even thinking about me getting knocked. Let me say that. I'm thinking like, damn, did she go to jail? Did something happen with, you know what I'm saying, with the treating it? Because once again, like I said, last time I talked to her, she was on a date. Damn, what happened with this bitch, man? Woo, right? So, you know, it go from an anger to like a concern. Right? Like, damn, what the fuck, right? So, bam. Nigga, I go back to the room, right? I got a room once again at the Ontario Inn. That was my little spot, man. I'm telling y'all. So I'm at the room, and I'm just like, you know, like, damn, where this bitch at? Whatever. Now, you know, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doleless, but at the time, not knowing I'm holeless either, though, right? So, you know, I'm just thinking, you know what I'm saying, blowing my trees, like, what the fuck, right? And then, nigga, it happened. Oh man, right? So, oh my God. So I get the phone call, unknown number, right? Hello? Say, man, is this Prince? Fool sound just like that. And I'm like, yeah, who is this? He was like, hey, man, look, man, my name JB, man. You know, I'm up out of that St. Louis, man. But look, man, I just wanted to just let you know that, you know, the little white bitch, you know, I've been having her, man. You know what I'm saying, for like the last day or two, man. You know, she been her and the you know, I just got out of jail, man, today, and the other day. You know, my little Spanish broad, she didn't even know I was out, so I pulled up on the bitch. You know what I'm saying, and her and the little white bitch out there talking. So you know, right? You know what I'm saying. So I get it. You know what I'm saying. So she you know how I go, P, right? So, and at the time, I didn't know that the little white broad and the Latina. It's crazy how this game worked. Nigga, they went to school together, right? That's a common thing in this game too. If you know. They went to school together. They both by themselves. The Latina broad don't even know her folks was out of jail. He had been down for like maybe 2 or 3 days for some bullshit, right? But she's still on automatic doing a little thing, right? Or whatever, right? So he telling me like, yeah, man. So he telling me like, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm popping that. So he said, so because at this point it's okay. I forgot to say this. So the day she gone, right? So that whole day, through the whole night, through the next morning to the next afternoon. Remember what I told you, the 24 hours, right? it was right in that time zone, right? So he told me like, yeah, man, I got, you know what I'm saying, just like chopping it up. And then he say, well, where you at, P, man? You know what I'm saying? So I can serve you the right way, P, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to get your number, from the little brawl. But, I got, you know what I'm saying? But, I'm some pimping, man. I'm OG pimping, man. I'm about, he tell me again, you know what I'm saying? I'm JB, man, about that St. Louis, man, So, yeah, dude had to be like, man, if I had to guess, like, maybe early, probably mid-50s. Old school player. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have a lack. I didn't either. But he had like a, was it a Lincoln? Like I think it was a clean ass Lincoln. You know what I'm saying? On some Vogues. But there wasn't like on those Dubs done. Like, I don't think they was, but I remember that motherfucker being kind of clean though. Old school piece jumped out, had the, he didn't have the suit on, but he had the button down, unbuttoned, like he took his tie off, but he had the vest on, had the hat on, had the sleeves axe on, had the hard bottoms on, right? So, and then, because remind y'all, the next day after the whole day go by, I had paid for the room was already paid for like a couple of days or something like that. So I'm back to square one. Like fucking man, I'm finna go get, you know what I'm saying? This before JB called me, right? So then we called me, whatever. So now let me tell y'all, right? So this is how you know, nigga. So right, so while he's getting at me about the process of the knocking, man, I don't know how I feel about this shit. Like, I have never heard no shit. Like, I heard about it, but I have never heard it, like, like directly like this, right? So I'm kind of mad a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like nigga, what? But I don't say nothing. I'm just listening, right? As he telling me what happened. But when he said, well, where you at, P? Let me serve you the right way, man, you know what I'm saying, with these papers. Mind y'all, I still didn't know. What? I still didn't know what he was talking about. So I tell him, no, I'm not Atlanta Young. So he said, well, man, so we met up at the mobile gas station on Hope and Indian Hill, right there, right across the street from Swap Meet, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if Pimpin' that's been down around that Pomona on that Hope, So we jump out, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, yeah, P, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's a pleasure to meet you, young P, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still like, man, this old ass nigga, man, like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, nigga, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, man, where the bitch at, man? Right? And it's still haven't fully registered what's going on, right? So we talking, so he said, well, look, P, man, this all I got about the bitch, man. She says, no, I got her yesterday, P. You know what I'm saying? Which had to be true, because like you say, it's daytime. It wasn't too many hoes moving around at nighttime out there in Pomona at this time. I mean, a few, some of the locals, you know what I'm saying, they had their game down. But for those of us who's coming from out of town and didn't know the ins and outs and ends of it, once the sun go down, you know what I'm saying, bam, we moving on. Well, at least me and my PE partners, that's how we was doing it. I can't say for everybody, so let me just say that. But, at the time, I didn't really know too many people who was out there at nighttime. Daytime was the thing, right? So, he tell me, so man, he said, well, look, man, that's all I got about the bitch. And man, that nigga had like, it had to be like, it wasn't nothing crazy like that. It was like maybe 300 and some change, close to 4, like maybe 360, 370, something like that. So that's why he was like, this is all I got up out of her. But, I didn't have her. This was, what I'm saying, when he was like, man, he said, when I had came across whatever, she only had $60 on her, which is probably the date that she was on when I had talked to her last. But, he kept the bitch down. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, man, she was playing, man. The bitch kind of green. You know what I'm saying? Now, I have to tell my little Spanish broad, man, like, who's this bitch? Who's this bitch? He's like, man, I ain't even from P. He had that St. Louis accent. I can't do the St. Louis accent, but and then, like, real, like, for sure, right? St. Louis, right? And, he just basically saying, like, the bitch was playing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to keep the bitch down, boo. He talking about he had the bitch down all through the night. And what's crazy, y'all, is because I'm at the room tripping. Nigga, I didn't even think to go hit the blade, nigga, see what some hoes out, right? But man, when he handed me that little piece of bread right there, that, you know what I'm saying? Um, of course, you know, it was cool. So we meet and greet, bam, we probably go our ways, right? So he's just basically saying, like, you know, I was like, okay, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really say too much because I always, you know what I'm saying, man, shout out to my man, Pimp, you know, once again, you know what I'm saying, Pip and Prince, and a few other Max and Elder Peace that taught me, man, like, I just always listened, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you can't, like, you know, you can't get the game if you think you got the game, you dig? And I didn't even know I was getting the game, but that just always been me, just listen, you know what I'm saying? So, we part our ways, whatever, right? And, and now I'm thinking, when we leave and I go back to the room, man, something came over me, man. Shout out to Hollywood Tay Tay. I mean, Hollywood Tay, man. I just got all fluttery and tingly on the inside. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, that nigga just gave me so, and once again, it still didn't hit me then what was happening, right? But I knew right then and there, I got to give me another hoe. I got me some more money. The room paid up for a few days. I got some gas in the car. You know what I'm saying? You know, got my trees, whatever. I'm not no drinks. So I don't want to worry about no drink. You know what I'm saying? So I was cool where I can go do some pimping for the next few days. And right then and there is when I said, I got to go out and do some pimping and come up on some game. Before that, man, I was just out moving around, hollering at bitches, popping peas, man. See who gonna fall for it, man. You know what I'm saying? Just saying whatever. You dig? But so yeah, man, that's my little story right there, man, about the first time I got knocked in Pomona. I don't even know if JB even still living, man. But if he is, man, if anybody, any pimpers that come across this that's out there in St. Louis, man, you know him or people's whatever, man, you probably don't even remember me, man. But man, tell that nigga I said shout out and thank you for the game, man, because he, you know, he really sat me down and laced me cool enough, even though I didn't understand the lacing at the time. But, you know, as I got more seasoned, it became more relevant on what was happening. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, man, once again, pimping, knocking other P's for the hoes. Now, of course, you know, we say, man, now, you know, now the nigga gang banging all that old shit, whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's different, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I wasn't, like I say, seasoned like I was now, but I was past the part where I knew, you know what I'm saying, like, pimping is pimping and whatever else is whatever else. You did? And right, so but yeah, man, OG JB, man, if he's still living, man, shout out to you, Peas. If not, rest in peace, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, man, when Peas knock other Peas for they bitches, man, you know what I'm saying? Like the right way, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you been popping at her on social media or whatever, this and that time, man. When you get that bitch, man, and you set her down, you know what I'm saying? The proper pimp etiquette way, man, is to serve pimping with the papers the right way, though. You dig what I'm saying? And because, you know, the thing with that is, man, let me just say this before I bring it to a closure. The thing with that is that, say if I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm moving around and I got the bitch down, and, you know what I'm saying, Max so-and-so knocked me for the bitch, and she don't, you know, it's been 2 days, you know, she's not in jail, I didn't check the hospital, whatever, her phone was off, whatever the case gonna be, and he ain't called and said shit. Right? So 2, 3, 4, or 5 days later, when I see the bitch down somewhere and I ain't been called, what you think I'm gonna do? What you think people gonna do? Like, we finna jump, like, we gonna feel like we in all rights because I haven't been called to serve. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, it all depends on the type of broad that you fucking with. But I'm just speaking on the average level. I ain't talking about, like, you know, your game that you've been through some ups and downs and turnarounds and gains and losses. But I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about a bitch, you know what I'm saying? You know her, but you don't know her. You know what I'm saying? You know her real name, but you don't really know how she was, her upbringing and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, shit like that. You know, still going through that first stage. You dig? So, so when we see the bitch, you know what I'm saying, like, nigga, you ain't said nothing, and then we jump out, get at the bitch, do what we gonna do with the bitch, and then the nigga who got the bitch, he ain't, you know what I'm saying, now he tripping, cause he think I'm tripping. But nigga, you tripping for not calling me to tell me you got the bitch. You dig what I'm saying? And so I know sometimes, you know what I'm saying, ladies too, you know what I'm saying, they'll do some shit like, well, no, like, what's up, bitch, who was you fucking with? Who was the last pimp you paid? Woo, woo. Oh, man, I was fucking with 187 Kevin, you know what I'm saying? And before that, I started fucking with Big Dick Crip from the East Side gang, and you know what I'm saying? And so now the nigga who got the bitch, no pimping, he's like, oh, yeah, man, I ain't finna call them niggas, you know, some niggas get the tripping with it. But sometimes we still may call, though, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, as soon as he open his mouth, we gonna know whether to, you know, to continue or not. Like, say, what's up, man? This is so and so. Oh yeah, well, yeah, what's up, man? Oh yeah, man, you know the bitch, the little light brown bitch. Yeah, man, what's up, man? Where that bitch at? Yeah, nigga, I'm Crip, nigga, I'm gonna get you, nigga, on fire. No, I'm gonna get you for the bitch. And all that old shit, you know, we already know. But man, if she tell you, like, you know, I was fucking, you could just tell by the name, like I said before, man. If she said she was fucking with a nigga who got a pimp name to him, then, you know, it's only right by the game that you call him and let him know that, hey, man, I got the bitch. See, now, like I say, man, before 24 hours thing, you know what I'm saying? It went from 24 hours to 48 hours to 72 hours. Now, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Niggas probably had a bitch for a whole spring break before you make a phone call. I don't know. But being knocked and served with papers the right way I can't say starting, man. It basically has become a lost art in the game. You dig what I'm saying? Like, no, for real, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, man, I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. I had to just give y'all that, you know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all last time, I was gonna tell y'all about the first time I got knocked and served the right way, though, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, man, once again, you know what I'm saying? Being proper respect, you know what I'm saying? We trying to put it together, this music battle. We just, you know, I'm making an announcement right now. So if anybody come across this, you interested, sub to my channel. I'm gonna give it a couple of days, maybe a week or some chance. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? At the game appointed time, but we're gonna do a music battle, LA against Memphis, strictly pimp music. You know what I'm saying? And I give y'all the details and the rundown and how we go about the judging and rules and all that old shit. You know what I'm saying? Those of us who from Simple the P channel, the family from up over there, y'all already know how we get down. You know what I'm saying? Death Row Mods, shout out to y'all. Man, shout out to all the ladies that hear this, that's listening to this. I truly appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So, and to the P's, man, keep it pimping, man. Keep the pimp etiquette, man. You know what I'm saying? So, until next time, y'all know what it is. Some more of it. Long live my P partner, Simple the P. And forever and ever, man, back to this game that we never left. Until next time, I'm gone. Y'all be cool. Baby, you chose me to be my HOE. Then I cannot fucking have a PIMP. Baby, you chose me to be my HOE. Then I cannot fucking have a PIMP. Yeah. I'm tired of pimps in the game, won't even talk about getting that phone call. Hello? They wanna run, they wanna flex, but they hold never got blocked or had a downfall. But I'ma keep it organic like the planet had a few in my circle, but they didn't stay long. I got knocked, I got blocked, I wouldn't stop, even though I really thought my game was strong. Baby, you chose me to be my HO.